11,275 pounds. I can't even believe this is here. It's a newer floor plan, even in the scheme of things. It hasn't been on the market that long. A 319 MLOK Eagle here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. This thing is decked out, dressed to the nines. One owner. We sold it to the original folks, and basically, guys, they went down the options list, added every single thing they could, and then some, and used it for a little bit, had a great time, and just kind of went, I think we're done camping. That's it. This thing looks awesome. They added the TV to the outside kitchen. This has the nicer stable steps. There's just a whole basement full of accessories. And up front, you see that this has a factory installed propane generator, dual air, upgraded pin box. It's got it all. Before I got too far along though, I wanted to show you something real quick. The folks did everything right. Like when they were traveling, they didn't just let stuff bang and bounce around. Like the two little stools that you'll see in a minute, they put the cover on those. They put the cover on the chairs. They had the guest chairs folded and stowed away. They didn't leave anything to chance. Like the sink covers are tucked away. Nothing was left loose where it could bounce around and bang into everything. It's just, this is what you wish you found in more used RVs. This is how you want them to look. Give me just a second here so I can get it kind of in a little kind of prettier state. There we go. That looks a little bit more like how we're going to use it every day. This is such a different layout. It's a very rare, what I call a unicorn, where, as far as I know, Eagle is the only brand building this right now. They were definitely the originator. I would be surprised if somebody else has tried to knock something like this off, but it's definitely got an it factor. Yeah, there's a different thing about this. I think the combination of the layout and that beautiful farmhouse decor. Now, first of all, this is the first used Jayco we've ever had in the farmhouse decor. It's been like the hottest thing in RVing since it came out. Everybody and their brother has been copying it. And now you can have one in a virtually new, super loaded RV where you're not paying the new RV price tag. That's good stuff. Lot to cover. I'm just going to start rattling stuff off. There's nothing really derogatory about the RV, by the way. Maybe if I see something little along the way, I'll try to let you know, but it's all here, guys. It's all good. We have Whisper AC here in the bedroom, and this actually has two 15,000 BTU centralized air units. So this has a 30,000 BTU air system. Now, like, all of our lighting is on a dimmer switch. So if you hold your finger on it, it can kind of die down, and it's got a positional memory. So if you want to knock it down during the night, watch a movie, or use it as a night light for a visiting little grandkid or something like that. Maybe your Uncle Gary's still afraid of the dark. I don't know. It doesn't matter. You get the idea. You can dim the lights. Now, those lights dim. The lights above the dining kitchen farm table, because this is not just an island. It's different. The lights above the dining table, the lights behind that little cool accent barn beam. There's like 10 different sets of dimming lights in this thing. It's pretty cool. Speaking of this thing, let's take a look at this. I love it. I love that they didn't just jam a sink into it, which is what usually happens with islands in the RV industry. So it's kind of like an island, a kitchen table, a breakfast bar, a crafting station, a desk, all combined with a big chunk of storage down below. I mean, it does a lot of different things, which is really cool. We'll come back and look at the theater seat in a minute when we get a better shot at it. Over here, this has a 2+2 seating arrangement. You got two full-time chairs. There are two fold-away guest chairs under the master bed that were never used. The top of the table here is actually nice because the front extends out if you need extra space, but this is just on a gas strut. So if you want to have a little bit of a destination dining desk kind of thing going on, you can do that here. Notice too how all the windows are all fully trimmed out. I like it. It's just a nice aesthetic, and it gives those pleated shades, the anchor, something really to bite into. And if it's sunny out, I mean, you'll block the sun out. These things do one heck of a job, plus the windows are all tinted, which is nice. Little bonus drawer below that 12 cubic foot gas electric travel-in fridge. I think this is a really good floor plan to make sure you have that gas electric fridge, because the fridge is all the way on the back of the RV. While you are traveling, it is bouncier and more violent back here, and this fridge is designed to take that. A residential fridge, not so much. Even with the upgraded suspension on an Eagles, I just feel better with this, not to mention if you lose power, you got an automatic power backup, which is pretty sweet. And this corner, I call this one Grandma's Corner because growing up, my grandmother's house, she had a little corner of her house, still does, really, just like this, where she's got this funky little angle-mounted sink, nice little shelf above it, the windows out back, so that when you come back here, you know, whenever we went to my grandma's house, for whatever reason, and I'm not even a super iced tea drinker, but the thing with us kids is we always ran to grandma's sink and made a glass of instant iced tea. I don't even know why. I never even liked it, but that was our jam, man. And this takes me back. It takes me back quite a bit, actually. Stainless sink below, all solid surface material. Then if we get down here, you can see that there's just tons of wide open space. You need space for a wastebasket or something, and you got it all there. As we work our way around, you can see there is just no shortage of drawers in this thing. And in fact, I'm actually going to take a second to back up and really open up the kitchen because I want to make sure I do this right. This is a sharp unit and I want it represented fairly. You've got 5 drawers right here, and they're in a real smart location because they're near the sink, they're near your prep space. Also, here in the kitchen, you'll see the drawers have a nice little soft close kind of function to them. Just a nice, just buttery, kind of cool looking, smooth feeling thing. As we work our way up past that Furrion oven, one of the things I want to mention to you there, Furrion ovens are really cool because that little sparker knob right there, it will actually light the oven. Most RV ovens don't do that. Also, take a look at this, easy reach power outlets. And it's easy to miss them until I really get close to point them out because they're kind of dark on dark, but you don't have to have extension cords to reach your power outlets. There's another set of easy reach outlets by the kitchen sink, by the way. Over here, pantry has adjustable or just straight removable shelving, and it's a lot bigger than you would have thought. Like when that door was closed, yeah, I don't know, for some reason it just doesn't have the same impact as opening that thing right up. Another thing that's kind of cool about this that I thought about, the shelves don't go all the way to the door. You've got this vertical strip right here. It's a very easy place if you want to put like a little a hanger, like a tall vertical thing for like a little broom or something like that. There's a handy spot to put something like that. Some people are going to say, I don't want a broom near my food. Okay, fine. Don't put a broom there. I'm just saying that you could. I've seen people do it. And then back here to the, I don't know, do-it-all island or whatever you want to call it. Again, big space down here. So you almost have, like, that's your big pots and pan space for long-term living right there. As we work our way forward, the TV's in the strap-down travel position. Jayco's actually really nice. They give us these little corner straps. I have seen instances where a single buckle strap down the middle, as is more traditional in the RV industry, can actually damage the screen in transit. That's not going to happen here. And you have a full Furrion complement of stuff. So our Bluetooth DVD player is hiding in that upper glass panel. You might be able to see it kind of peeking out up there. But that talks to the TV. So like if you throw a disc in, the TV goes, oh, you must want to watch a DVD. Hey, no sweat, man. And there's a face-mounted HDMI port on it. And Jayco actually runs, extra HDMI wiring through here. Although the previous owners look to have tucked it down in there. I'm sure it's hiding in there somewhere. All the original owner's manuals, always a good sign. And this TV is on a double pivot swing arm, by the way. So if you want to make it face the kitchen or the dining or the 2 sofas or just straight toward the theater like it is now, you can do whatever you want. Electric space heating, fireplace below, and once again, Furrion stuff. Furrion stuff here, where it's a little bit superior on the fireplace, is it has a proximity sensor. So that if you or someone or something is too close to the front of it, it will actually stop producing heat so that you don't accidentally melt, burn, hurt someone, something, whatever. Extra cabinets above the sofa because why not, right? And as we come down here, this is a trifold sleeper. And one of the things that I like about this position of the sofa is that when it's open, it will only open up to about where that seat is open right there. You can still, this seat will always be unimpeded. And if you need to, you can always walk around it to go upstairs or downstairs. So if you do have a guest for the weekend, but you want to come down here and get some coffee or something like that, start breakfast, yeah, you can do all that. No big deal. And the theater seating directly across from the entertainment center. Neat little tidbit on this one is that there is kind of a little hidden armrest storage in there to keep your remote controls handy. And the little shelf above the, as we're facing it, right-hand armrest, That is there from the previous owner. Could easily be removed. I'm guessing they just wanted a spot to set a drink or their phone or something. They had a need for it, obviously, but it's not like that's really hard to move around or remove or whatever. Couple control things up here. You've got like a normal physical switch panel, which a lot of people like, but this has a pretty in-depth version of the one control system. You can, your lights, slides, awnings, leveling systems can all be manipulated right here, and anything that you can do off that, well, you can do off that right there. Pretty darn handy. This is our generator. Let me see how many hours are on this thing. I'm not expecting a lot. If you hold the stop primer button, yeah, there's only like 8 hours on that generator. Wow, it's like brand new. Up here in the kitchen, we've got bathroom. Ugh. Anyway, we've got sealed edge counters up here, so if you do happen to splash water around, no big deal. And over here you can see that there is a corner seat in that shower, so if you need to sit to bathe, shave your legs, you got a hitch in your giddy up, you're good to go. No heat vents in the floor where people got to worry about little pitter-patter splashing, anything like that. Porcelain foot flush stool, plenty of linen space, and you can stand up in this thing no problem, because the shower pan is actually recessed to be the same height as the main floor. I am 6'2" or 3", it's about 6.5 feet tall up here, so you'll have 6.5 feet of headroom without the skylight of the shower. Neat thing on this fan, we'll talk a little bit more about it outside, but first of all, you see how deep this is? That's because Jayco's roofing is like thicker, and there's more room for insulation in there. That's one of the reasons that Jayco's seem to do, they're among the very best hot-cold rated campers you can find out there. And it's funny, because they don't claim the highest R values, but they have the best proven data that you can find in this class. Because, people lie about R values. Jayco doesn't. They just build an RV that performs. It's something that I like about them. Neat little things here, too. You've got, there's our main ceiling lights. We've got a little night light, and we've got a little backlit morning mirror here. So they're all available for us whenever we need them. Up here in the bedroom, factory installed second AC, all centralized and ducted in. Although if you want to, you could do, it looks like what these folks did, they just left these fins open so that they kept all the air from this just in here. I will tell you though, ideally you don't want to do that long term. That's a good short term solution. You don't want to do it permanently. This was built with the standard queen bed. However, I tell you, I'm kind of liking it because the king beds have really become the dominant thing in fifth wheels, but the extra walk-around space and those side stands that you're getting, I'm a fan of this. I think that, Eagle actually does it very well. And that's the difference there, is most brands, if you just stay with a standard queen instead of a king, you don't get the side stands. But the extra walk-around room and, how much, there's full storage below the bed as well, by the way. They've done well up here. I like their application of the queen bed. Big closet up front, 8-foot wide front, wall-to-wall storage. Although this lower section here is set and ready for a combo washer dryer if you are so inclined. Basically, you just sacrifice those little shelves. Now, the taper of the roof does prevent the use of a stackable washer dryer, but frankly, that's pretty much the case in this class. You have to go, but the moment you go up to like a North Point, and even specific Eagle floor plans, they have alternative locations for washer dryers, like we have new at Haylett RV. Some of those are actually stackable, capable. Look at the height of this dresser. It's like twice as tall as you normally get. And once again, it's just Eagle doing Eagle things, always finding a way to do a little bit more. So, probably less obvious to you folks at home, but from the time that I actually started recording this to now, a day has gone by because I got rained out pretty hard. I got about halfway through doing this, and it just let go. But I suppose that none of that really matters. Show must go on. That's showbiz, baby. Let's start looking at some more good stuff. Right up top here, we've got a Furrion backup and in-motion observation camera. So, you can always have a good idea what's going on. Also kind of handy for like nighttime security. If you hear something funny going around, you can see if it was popping up behind your RV. And this also has the Jayco J Smart lighting. So your signals markers all activate with your turn signals, and you have reverse travel. Down below here, a couple things. You've got a 2-inch receiver hitch with a 300-pound rating for things like accessories like a bike rack or a little cargo tray. I would say a small generator, but this RV has its own built-in generator up front. Propane quick connect on the bumper, but as we work our way around, you see, we've also got this handy camp kitchen with a second propane connection up there. So if you want to be grilling on the back, or grilling on the side. You can do kind of whatever you want. And you're thinking, why do they have 2 grill hookups? Well, basically because they standardize that. That's on like every Eagle, and this is a floor plan specific thing. So rather than, you know, subtract 1, add 1, move 1, they just said leave that always where it is and then do this one. You can see the bottom of those automatic leveling jacks, power levelers there. And these are Goodyear Endurance radials. That's a best-in-class thing Jayco's doing that even still today, almost no one else has adopted. It's actually kind of amazing that more brands haven't caught on to that. The outside TV we're looking at here is actually an optional piece of equipment. Like I said, this RV has just about every option you could possibly hope for, and then some. As we back up, we're greeted with our MORryde stable steps. The folks added some little no-slip covers to those. Those are also the 0G kind of steps, where if you like pick them halfway up and leave them there, they'll just sort of hang in midair and they won't go whack and fall down. Bigger entry handle too is always a nice thing. Now notice too, that's an extra wide door, and there's a couple little details here that I love on Eagles that are easy to miss. A lot of RVs have a light around this area to help you see the steps, but usually the switchboard is inside, which is stupid. You have to go inside up steps that you can't see to activate the step switch. So Eagle puts it right here, along with speakers mounted down low under the awning in the most logical place where you're probably going to put a picnic table or some chairs. Now as we get in here, first of all, huge pass-through. This is very impressive, but it's loaded with accessories because the folks are just done camping. We've got wheel covers. We've got like X-Chock kind of things right here to you know, keep the RV stable. We have a 5th wheel tripod, you know, kingpin kind of job there. All sorts of hoses, cables, connectors, leveling blocks, this, that, and the other thing. There's just a little bit of everything in there because they're just done. They had a great time. They went camping quite a bit and just went, you know, I think we camped enough. They were done a little sooner than they expected, but they had a good time. Up front, that's the upgraded MORryde pin box. So that'll take a lot of the shocks and jumps and jolts out of your transit experience, along with the MORryde CRE 3000 suspension system you find on an Eagle. If you're not familiar with what that means, CRE means compression rubber equalization. Long story short, shock dampening, you know, extra suspension. Obviously the generator up front is a huge thing on here. There are very few Eagles out there with a full generator install like you see on this, and that is a propane generator. So it burns clean, and what I like about propane generators, as opposed to gas, if you don't use a gasoline generator, you know, regularly, the carburetor gets super gummed up and you have to, you know, have some things fixed on it and cleaned out. Propane is inert, so when you're not using a propane generator, no big deal. It's just not a problem. You could come back to it 2 years later, boom, fires right up. Propane's cool that way. Plus it burns cleaner and is always pretty much more efficient. Fully enclosed, heated, protected docking center. The RV is, Eagle is and has been like hot cold camp rated for many, many years. And you can see like they're using the extra double-sided radiant barriers on your bath deck all the way across. They have it up the nose cap, along the roof, in the slides, everywhere basically. But they also use actual insulation, not just hot dog paper to insulate their RVs, as is the case in some brands. Good preventative measures right here. The little mud dauber screens to keep the bugs from flaming out your, you know, exhaust things. Now over here, the SantaCon, I was really surprised that SantaCon didn't become a bigger deal in the towable RV industry. It's popular in a lot of motorized stuff. If you're not familiar with this, basically, it has its own built-in black tank hose and handle that you can put right on the, you know, the exhaust port, I guess you'd say, of a campsite or the dump station. But it's a power macerator. It's like a garbage disposal for your black tank. There's a thing that goes and chews up everything in there. And that's, you know, that's about what it sounds like. Anyway, and it's a power flush. What that means is it can actually pump a little bit uphill. I'm not going to tell you you could put it on top of your annoying neighbors and have a good time painting the roof of their RV with your black tank. But fact is, you know, it gets the tank empty twice as fast. Frameless windows on the sides, slide window on the slide sides. And it's tricky to say that in a way that makes sense. But in English, what it means is you've got the good-looking tilt-open rainy day airflow windows, most of the places, and then in your cross-breeze seating space, you have slide-open windows for max airflow. And holy crap, it's like It looks brand new up here. This is exactly what the roof of a new Eagle looks like still today. Seals are fantastic. There's nothing negative to write home about here. Everything is exactly as it's supposed to look. Neat little thing too, that vent cover right there, that goes over your bathroom, and it's a different kind of vent cover. If you notice, it actually kind of sucks air up from below, and there are some there's little vents that you can close. But basically, if it's a rainy day, you can keep your fan running in the bathroom and not have to worry about water dribbling into the camper. So it's sort of like a different concept of a MaxxAir style vent cover, but it doesn't stick up so high, because you notice they're using a low profile AC up here. They're trying to keep this thing low. And by the way, that's actually a 15,000 BTU. In this class and category, especially the year this was built, I don't know of anyone other than Eagle that was doing 15K airs in their bedrooms as an option. They were almost always 13.5s, which is great, which is plenty. But Eagle doing Eagle things. They've always done more. And remember, roof solar prep over here on the side, so if you do want to, you can have the nose of this thing sticking out, all decorated out with panels of your choosing, and you could just go solar crazy. So pardon our dust. If you look back there, we are actually in the midst of a construction project. We are enhancing and expanding greatly our facility here at Haylett RV Brokers of Coldwater, Michigan. As far as I know, we already have the largest used RV inventory in the state of Michigan, and we're just going to keep on rolling. We're going to keep on expanding that. We kind of feel that if you're standing still, then you're falling behind, so we're pushing forward. So give us a call. Pretty much, we, do it all. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.